game last year.
Yeah, and then what was he the next game? Mike White.
That's why he's a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So maybe do you alternate quarterback? See if you can get the good week from Mike White, then it's Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Then Mike White, Joe Flacco.
Yep. What else did you get out of the weekend? How much did you watch? I know you watched the Vikings last night.
Speaking of backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, backup quarterbacks.
How about
New
the
coaches.
Vikings? How about
New
the
coaches?
Vikings?
Yeah. Get rid of Sean Mannion, man.
Get rid of him already. Wow.
No, I've said that years ago.
All right.
I've been saying that for
Love
years.
me some
How'd you
Sean
think of Kellen Mond?
I don't like him on the Vikings. It was good. Zimmer didn't really give him a chance, but I was really excited about the offensive play calling. And new defensive schemes. There's a lot of new going on. It's like you're dating someone new, guys.
You like it?
Yes.
Look at you. Just got married now. I want to date someone new.
But yeah, I wasn't. It was not surprised. Nothing crazy happening. I'm excited about a new coach. That's my biggest thing. I saw a difference yesterday, guys. Saw a difference.
All right. So 26-20, if scores mean anything to you, Kellen Mond was 9 of 14. Actually looked nice. A couple of touchdowns.
A lot of penalties.
The efficiency for the young quarterbacks is what I look for.
Ooh.
Someone that I was like, okay, this is nice, is Kenny Pickett. Ooh. 13 of 15, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, we understand who you're playing against in preseason, but to be efficient in your first time stepping on the field in that environment, that's impressive. Those are the things I look for.
I'm down with that. All right, I'm down with that. Yeah, I'm down with that.
And I think that was really the moment where they go, you know what? Mason Rudolph, nice knowing you.
Yeah.
Mr. Trubisky and Kenny Pickett.
The Mason Rudolph thing is, how much that ends, right? Do they keep him around, do you think?
And maybe someone sees Mason Rudolph doing his job efficiently in the preseason, like, hey, it was a 6th-round pick. And you're like, all right,
bye, Mason. The Jets can have him.
Which could happen because you're going to continue to showcase those two players in the next 2 preseason games.
And the Jets can have him. What do you think of the Carolina thing? Baker Mayfield started, goes 4 for 7.
Yeah,
a little Sam Darnold, got a lot of P.J. Walker. Does it feel like to you that one's settled?
I think it's going to be Baker Mayfield.
I do too.
It does get the start.
I kind of do too. Jared Goff looked good in his one series. Are you buying anything the Lions are selling? Anything?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of, because I don't want to get caught up in the whole
Hard Knocks
hype.
Yes.
Yeah. But I kind of am buying a little bit of what they're selling.
They were the best 3-win team in the league. There's a chance they could be the best 6-win team in the league this year.
People are betting now that they're going to win 9 games.
That's a little too much.
Oh my gosh! I've never heard anyone say that before.
Let them bet. Let them go.
No,
bet.
I'm all about it.
I mean, go do your thing.
The crazy bets.
Yeah. We're not ramming it. Dwight wants to hear ram it just because the Rams beat the
Los
Chargers.
Angeles Chargers.
Yeah. I don't think beating the Chargers in
you let me know.
is
Give me
worth
the
a ram
cue.
It doesn't feel right, does it to you?
I think. And JJ, how about your Denver Broncos? How about that?
Here's the thing.
Oh,
I do
Dallas
not care.
Cowboys.
I do not care what the final score of any of these games are.
You know,
I look at player performances, or if you're the Dallas Cowboys, 17 penalties. That's a problem. They were the most penalized team in football last year, and nothing has changed. If you want to get mad at Mike McCarthy, start right there.
17 penalties?
Player performances,
Isn't that
how
crazy?
units look. There's plenty of things to take away from preseason. Final score,
Isn't one of them?
I don't even look at the final
You
score.
don't get a lot of Ben DiNucci and go, yeah, I'm pretty fired up. 17-7. So we get out of the big injury. Obviously, is what you saw with the Jets quarterback Zach Wilson. What do you think of Malik Willis on what was that Thursday night?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Anytime a quarterback, doesn't matter if we're talking preseason football, regular season, runs for 70 yards against other dudes that are trying to chase you down, that's impressive. And he had the 70-yard touchdown showcasing athletic ability, which, with the way the Tennessee Titans are constructed, that's very, very intriguing. He's not taking Ryan Tannehill's job, But with the run game, the athleticism you've seen at times from Ryan Tannehill scoring touchdowns, running some of the read option at times, giving Malik Willis a couple opportunities, I think they'll put some packages in there for him this year. Mix it up.
Jalen Hurts completed every one of his passes.
Yep.
80 yards, touchdown. Nice drive. It's always, what do you make of it against who are they playing?
Jets.
With whom are they playing? How do you, well, and not just the Jets, backup Jets.
Well, that's
right?
that's what you want to see, though.
Right.
You
But-
want the player that you expect to be the best guy to look like he's having zero trouble in that moment.
But you can get
As opposed to
concerned.
Deshaun Watson going 1 for 5. But Go hasn't played football in forever. Okay, you still gave the dude $1 bajillion.
A bajillion.
And what about Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be nice. It's you can come out with concerns with quarterbacks, right? If they look bad against preseason defenses, you're like, okay, we got a problem. If they look good against them, you kind of got to tap the brakes and temper your excitement, don't you?
Yes. It is a lot of reading between the lines, understanding that the young guys are absolutely going to get better. So you can't say, oh, this person is a bust because he didn't look good in one preseason scrimmage. But then also looking at the guys that go out there and are very efficient early, the starting quarterbacks, what should happen.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, right? 8 o'clock this morning. 9 o'clock this morning, Brady Hoke, a conversation with San Diego State's head coach as the Aztecs get set for their 100th season of football. As we'll continue our preview of Mountain West Conference football, which is getting ready to start. Look, the Aggies now are you could say next week. Aggie football starts next week. And we're here.
0 week.
Yeah, 505-246-0610. Hey, what's your financial goal? You looking to buy a car? Because Kirtland Federal Credit Union can help you with whatever your financial goals are. Looking to buy a car? Competitive rates, unbeatable service. They'll help you drive away in the vehicle you want with payments with which you can live. Looking to buy a new home? Wide variety of mortgage programs. Partner with a team of friendly and knowledgeable mortgage experts. Looking to improve your home? Turn the value of the house in which you live into cash that you can use for home improvements, upgrades, even more. And if you're planning for retirement, investing for retirement starts with Kirtland Financial Services. You can talk to an advisor today and start walking the path to a confident future. How can they help? Stop by any branch and find out, or give them a look online at kirtlandfcu.org. That's kirtlandfcu.org. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. Membership eligibility required. See your representative for complete details.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments.
The Mountain West Conference in the preseason polls, but you know all that means nothing. That's what coaches will tell you. It's what happens when you get out on the pitch, and you get an exciting one coming up on Thursday. One of the best teams in the nation is coming to Albuquerque, New Mexico. A 6th-ranked Rutgers will be here to play the Lobos. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Heather Dyke is the head soccer coach for Lobo Women's Soccer. She joins us this morning on the opening drive. Good morning, Heather. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're well, thank you. So this is kind of a cool way to get started. You got a couple of exhibition games, and might as well just jump into the deep end head first. Here comes Rutgers, and everybody says, I want to play the best. You get to play some of the best.
Yeah, it's an ambitious way to start, that's for sure. But I think for us, we do want to play the best, and for us to be able to get number 6 in the nation to come here to Albuquerque. It's a huge deal, so we're really, really hopeful the community will show up and come cheer on our girls and hope for a little bit of luck.
It's the Lobo Invitational. Cal State Bakersfield, UNLV are the other two teams, and you'll play all of them on over the weekend. How'd you get them here? Because everybody talks about scheduling and getting some of the best to go on the road. How did you get Rutgers to decide to come out here and play you?
Yeah, I think we've been fortunate the last 2 seasons that we're probably considered a good RPI game. So I think teams that want to continue to advance their RPI know that playing us will be difficult, but if they can get a win, it helps them. So it helps us in our scheduling that we can call and they'll know that they're going to get a good game in New Mexico.
And Heather, you look at what you were able to do just that last calendar year of 2021, where you guys played that spring season, won a championship, came back in the fall, NCAA tournament appearances. And it's, I know scheduling's been so tough the last couple of years, but a game like this for your team with the aspirations you have, how big is it to get that experience early in the season when you want to try to get back to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I want to be a nationally ranked team. I think that, doing that in New Mexico is difficult, truthfully, but possible. And I think that it starts from not thinking of yourself as being less than. It starts from saying we want to play the big dogs and we want to see where we are. And if we take a beating, we'll take a beating, but we're going to get better from it. And I think our team has had that philosophy for a very long time, and it served us well because we're not afraid of anybody. So we want Rutgers to come here, and whatever comes of it, we know that we're going to get better from it. So it's a pretty exciting thing, and I think hopefully the community understands that it's a big deal for New Mexico, and people turn up and cheer us on.
And it's, the rosters the last couple of years still been crazy with the COVID year, but it's allowed players a unique opportunity to play an extra season, and it's allowed teams to keep a lot of players around. I know some at core positions, you got some really experienced fifth-year players, but how does the group kind of shape up right now with all the returners and then some of the new players that you're bringing in?
It's one of my favorite parts of the year is kind of figuring out who your team is. And you get the spring to do it a little bit, but you don't have any of your freshmen then. And, we've obviously lost 2 huge starters, like consistent starters. 3, truthfully, Aspen Hedrick, Alex Curtin, and Emily Johnson, who was, an all-conference goalkeeper, all-conference center mid. And so it's been interesting to see how we're going to cover those spaces. But I think we have some interesting new transfers that people are going to be really excited about. We returned some really familiar faces. Our freshman group is pretty impressive this year, so preseason's been difficult to figure out who our best players are, which is exactly the problem that I want to have.
It's a wonderful problem. Heather Dyke is Lobo women's soccer coach. Opened up with Rutgers on Thursday. Lobos won the conference championship last year, both the regular season and the conference tournament, finished with a 14-5-2 record. I got to guess the ladies are pretty fired up to get a shot at Rutgers. Do they like this as an opener? Do you feel, just a different feel amongst your team because that's who's next on the schedule?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a buzz about it. I mean, it's one thing to play a team that, you feel like you're going to be in a game with, but it's a different thing to play a team that was lost to the defending national champions last year in a shootout. Like, these guys are good. So we were pretty disappointed with the way our season ended against BYU. And one of the big things that we've talked about is that if we want to play at that level, we need to do it more consistently. So I think the team is super excited, and the best part for us is there's truthfully nothing to lose. It's kind of just an opportunity to go out and show who we are and test ourselves a little bit.
Played 2 exhibition games. What did you learn about your team in those?
Yeah, we really kind of use those to figure out where our depth is. The difficulty in women's soccer is that once the season starts, if you play 1 minute of one game, you can't redshirt unless you're injured. So it's a little bit different than football where you can play quite a few games and then still decide to redshirt.
Quite different.
Quite different, yeah. So we kind of use those exhibitions to really try to give everybody, 30, 40 minutes and see if they're impactful and consistently impactful, which is not an easy thing to do, but the fairest thing to do before the season starts, because you don't want to play players that are not going to get meaningful minutes over the course of the year.
Heather, when you look at Jaden Edwards and the play that she's evolved into, such a dynamic force for you on the field, but off the field she's starting to get some of that recognition, and you see her now partnering up with Sadie's. When you look at the opportunities that are now out there for other athletes, what do people need to know, not just about your team, but Jaden Edwards and just her presence and what she can mean to this community?
Yeah, I mean, I think JJ, you've been lucky enough to meet Jaden. She's for everything that she is on the field, she's equally as much, if not more, off the field. Like, she's just a very special human. Humble, hardworking, funny, doesn't take herself too seriously. So I think anytime that you have a kid like that who has been that successful on the field, who's done what she has for this community and for our state and for our program, I think she's a 4.1 GPA in biology. But for her to still be here when she, truthfully could be playing pro, and for the community to reach out and give her something like that at Sadie's it's been really cool. And I hope the community will continue to do that for women's sports, because it's, the same amount of energy, the same amount of time, and I think the representation that certainly our team, and I know all the women's teams will give you is worth its weight in gold.
Heather, you alluded to the Sadie's deal and NIL. I think people are hearing so much about NIL, and they think football and men's basketball primarily, but it certainly is affecting what you do. And how have you been dealing with it? Because as it evolves over the last now 18 or so months and changes so rapidly, and how much has it affected, the women's game and specifically your team?
Yeah, it's a monster. I mean, I know you guys have talked about it frequently. I listen all the time, but it's a monster, and it's I think to think that it's only going to be the revenue-producing sport is naive, truthfully. Like, if you look right now, Rylan Turner, who's a player at UCLA, is signed with Nike. Multiple players, Jaden Shaw, just signed with Adidas. And these guys are signing, 6-figure deals to play at certain universities with these sponsorships. So it will be, just like in every sport, kind of, the communities that invest in players are going to get the best players, and that's just the harsh truth of it. But that will happen in every single sport. So I don't think there's a recruit that we talk to at this point that doesn't ask us about NIL and opportunity before, even before scholarship at times, because it can be more valuable.
Did they tell you what they're offered elsewhere? Are they playing one against the other? Is that kind of part of the deal now?
I mean, they are, but they're not lying.
Right.
So, it is part of it. Like, when you talk to the kids about, what offers they're getting from different universities and how you can be competitive amongst that, then I think NIL is just a part of that now. So, we've lost a few kids. I mean, there was a kid that had a $30,000 offer to go somewhere else and took it, which is kind of hard to argue with. So, it's going to change the game, most certainly.
Heather, when you look at your roster right now. I did a quick count. I think there's 15 kids from the state of New Mexico. I know you're not just going to offer kids to offer them because they're in the state, but what have you seen, just the level of soccer in this state as it has developed over the last 20, 30 years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very prideful New Mexican. I'm very proud to be born and raised here, and it's a huge honor to me to represent this university. And it matters to me that we try to keep the best kids here and that we put them in an opportunity to be successful. So for us, I mean, almost half of our roster is New Mexican, and you're not going to do that if it's at the detriment of your program, but it never has been. It's been quite the opposite. It's I think if you look at our team, each of the past, this is my 8th fall, I'd say 2 of our top 5 players are always New Mexican every single year. So it's something that has always been the core of our program, and I think from New Mexican kids, there's just a little bit of different kind of grit. Like they want to represent the state, and their families are always at the games, and it's a big deal to represent your hometown. So it's something that we'll continue to do, and we're very, very proud of the success of New Mexicans in our program.
Yep. And they're proud of your program. How do they get out there? Let them know, because this is a big one. And boys and girls, this is, you talk about wanting competition. You want some of the best programs in America to come to Albuquerque to play the Lobos. The Lobos go out and play them. Well, you're getting the 6th best team in the country according to the preseason polls. You're getting a team that played in the national semifinal last year in Rutgers that's going to be here on Thursday. So, Heather, let people know when, where, how, and how important this is.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to get tickets. I mean, you can definitely just show up and buy one. You can get one on golobos.com. You can send me a text and I'll get you one. we just want people to be there. I mean, it's such a huge part of our success when the community turns out for our program. So come, even if you've never been to a women's soccer game, come check out these athletes. Come cheer them on. You know, our team Rutgers, you're going to see some amazing women performing at an incredibly high level. So I think even if you're not a soccer fan, it's going to be an entertaining sports match, and we need people. We need people there.
Heather, I think it's an opportunity for all these people who claim that, you know, they loved soccer, right? And we were so upset when the men's team got taken away, and here's an opportunity now. Okay, there is UNM soccer. Like, there is soccer at the University of New Mexico, and actually really good, successful soccer, league championship soccer. And here's your chance to kind of, I don't know, put it where your mouth is.
Yeah, no, without question. I mean, I think all of us were disappointed when the men's team left. I mean, I grew up watching them, so it's been a hard adjustment. But I also think that part of our burden when they left was to carry the torch and to try and be a successful program the way that they set the standard for. So, yeah, come check out these women. They're just they're incredible. And I think once you see them once and get to say hello, you'll be hooked.
Keep it up. Appreciate the fact that you listen. Thanks for coming on our show. Good luck on Thursday, Heather. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you guys for having me. Have a great day.
Be well. Heather Dyke is just having a terrific run. And look, I mean, she's not going to say it, and you know, she's had a lot of opportunity. She says, I'm a proud New Mexican, she's not lying. She's had a lot of opportunity. She is one of the most respected, dare I say, sought-after women's soccer coaches, not just in this part of the country, but in the country. And
absolutely. Her summer,
yeah.
Once they wrapped up spring, she was with the U.S. Women's National Team as they're going through CONCACAF tournament, as they're winning that tournament, and she's a part of that coaching staff. And the connection she has is unbelievable. She's doing her best to continue to build that winning program here at UNM. And you're right on, Jeff. There's so many people that would scream about UNM and lose them in soccer, this or that. Well, here's an opportunity to show up, show your support for soccer, UNM, this team, as they start the season against the 6th-ranked team in the country.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. How's your vehicle looking? Probably like most of them, right? Dirty. Just be with the rain, the monsoon rains, and then the mud and the dirt that it all kicks up, and then inside it's probably the same. I know it happens. It gets away from you. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing and have them take care of it. On the Spot Automotive Detailing details my vehicle. They come out and they take care of it. Clean it, wash it, wax it around the rims, under the hood. Under the seats, inside, outside. When they're done, this isn't just clean. It's detailed. It's like the way it was the day you took it off the lot. That's what all the auto dealers do. They have their vehicles detailed. You can have it as well. And they come to you. They come to you wherever it's convenient, whenever it's convenient for you. You don't go find them. You don't have to carve out time in your schedule. They will come to you And when they're done, you'll go outside. It'll look, it'll feel, it'll smell like the day you took it off the lot. On the Spot Automotive Detailing offers ceramic coating. It's the best way to protect your paint for years to come. They apply it by hand. And they have a 10% discount for our military. Call them, book your appointment today, 505-859-2859, 505-859-2859, or online at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Pretty good soccer on Thursday. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Dan says part-time, no. Jeffrey Juan Jose Ana Maria. This weekend I tuned in to listen to the premiere of 610's hyped new series, but two girls were not on. There was no betting with Baloo. WTH, all I heard. That's what it says. What WTH, all I heard was a national host yelling, Jordan Love sucks. And why did the NFL put us through the Vicky Sue Robinson Theater? What happened? It's from Dan.
Okay, all you got to know is technical difficulties, and don't worry, it will happen this week. Stay tuned.
There you go. So there's your answer, Dan. But people, we did hype it.
I appreciate that. And it, stuff happens sometimes.
Yes, it does.
It'll happen this Saturday.
Yes, it does. All right. Tellus says, where's the season gone, Jeff? Isotopes head to Tacoma for their final non-conference game of 2022. Is that right? After a disappointing homestand, it's pretty much a must-win. Starting next week, it's all PCL East competition, which is why fans keep telling me there's still a chance to steal a division belt at the finish line. Maybe not. Where the season, it goes quick, man. The older you get, the quicker it goes. That's all I can tell you, Tellus. I don't know what else. HB wants to know why, when other sports are expanding their tournaments, finding a way to get more teams to qualify, why the PCL go the other direction, one game winner take all. I don't know the answer to that. Do you?
We could assume some things, given the fact that they're playing to the end of September, that the rosters are going to get gutted, and you would rather have players getting a major league opportunity than sticking around for a 35-game playoff series. Even though winning is nice. You can play some winning baseball, go for it. But if you saw how emotional Wynton Bernard was when he got the call up and had a chance to call his mom, those guys would rather be up at the big club in September.
Obviously. Playing games that don't matter up at the big club and playing games that kind of matter to you down here. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's the truth. Richard says the cheerleader chaparral director has a lot of work to do to change the culture, which has kind of been destroyed the last 2 years, where 2020 they really didn't have a season. They didn't get to bubble up in Vegas or Dixie State, and most of last year was wasted wearing masks. Hopefully all the girls buy in, otherwise it could be a lot of roster turnover in 2023. Richard's worried about the cheerleaders, as he always is. Appreciate that. Omar says it's embarrassing, Cowboys. Jeff, I know it's just spring training, and you might not be wearing a Dallas Cowboy uniform in a month, but when you're representing the NFL's most complete franchise, show some damn pride. Put a flippin' fight at JJ's mile-high dump. I mean, if you're really upset about the Cowboy fan have reason to be upset. 17 penalties. I mean, I guess guys who aren't going to play much had 17 penalties. For a team that there's been a lot of questions about the discipline of the coach. Okay, I guess. You buying it?
Yes.
Okay.
They led the NFL in penalties last year.
Yeah, they did.
And you come out and you have 17 more in the first game.
17 of them. I mean, yeah.
First-round pick Tyler Smith was heavily penalized as a senior in college. Continued that trend, got hit for holding twice.
I mean, you are who you are, right? That's
a little
why you
different
got picked.
in the NFL.
Jack wants to know what you think of Seb Straka. What do you think of his decision in triple overtime to go for the flag and put it in the drink? If he lobs it down the court and leaves a 30-foot shot in the middle of the green, he wins. FedEx St. Jude goes to 3 overtime holes. Will Zalatoris, craziest shot, bounced around on the rocks. Like, how it didn't go in the water, there's just no way, right? Straka hits one in the water. Then he hits his next one long, and Zalatoris takes the unplayable, goes to the drop zone. Did you see the shot that laid around on the landscaping?
How did that stay there?
No idea. None. No idea. I mean, it defied every bit of logic, but it did. It was still an unplayable, so it might as well have gone in the water because he took the drop back of the drop zone. But it was one of those things where, and you and I and everybody else we know would have tried to hit it.
Yes, we would have.
Everyone would have fallen in the water. Everybody. All right, coming up next, Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us, Louisville football coach. They had a scrimmage out at the stadium this weekend. We'll catch up with him, see how that went, how the quarterback situation is, and everything else. Are you living with chronic pain? Tired of it? If you're living with chronic pain, I know you're tired of it. Not having success with steroids? You want to avoid surgery? There are better ways available. Call QC Kinetics. New therapies, advanced all-natural biologics, regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing lasting relief with no drugs, with no surgery, and with no downtime. QC Kinetics leads the nation in precision regenerative medicine. They have over 100 clinics across America, and literally there are thousands of satisfied patients. You've heard Emmett Smith on this radio station talk about it. Elite athletes have used QC Kinetics. Tiger Woods, Brooks Koepka. You know why? Because it works. 9 out of 10 times, the results are better than surgery. If you've been told that surgery is the only way, or the old methods of drugs or steroids are the only way, utilize this opportunity. Call QC Kinetics. Get a free consultation, which is essentially a free second opinion. It could change your life. Call QC Kinetics now. Free consultation, local medical professionals. The number is 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. QC Kinetics. 505-226-8688.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
2 weeks from now, we'll be talking game week with Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez. It's the opening drive. Good morning to you. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up in a little bit. They had a scrimmage out at University Stadium on Saturday afternoon, getting closer and closer. College football 0 week is, it's next week. It's not this coming weekend, but it's the next week. Conversation with Danny Gonzalez, sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. If you need legal help and someone who really cares, call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. Make your legal problems go away. Danny Gonzalez is the third-year head coach at the University of New Mexico. Good morning, Danny. How you doing?
Good morning. Doing great, guys. How are you guys doing this morning?
Excellent. Thank you. How was the scrimmage on Saturday? Did you get what you wanted out of it?
You know what? I thought we did. I mean, we ran into each other pretty good. I thought of the quarterback situation, Miles Kendrick made himself give himself an opportunity to get back in the race, which was really good to see. I don't think we're going to have a problem running the ball. I thought those guys did a pretty nice job. We need to do a better job of connecting the dots. It was for the offense. It was probably a scrimmage of missed opportunities. I mean, Luke dropped a touchdown pass on a swing route that they had blocked up pretty well, that unless somebody gets off and a block and makes a tackle, they're going to be able to get in the end zone. And then Jamar Sanders, one of our true freshmen, he had a chance. And that would have been a really good catch, but that's a catch that we expect him to make on a corner route in the end zone. And then probably the most disappointing one was Andrew Erickson, who's been Mr. Reliable the last couple of years. He dropped a streak route down the sideline that, I mean, those things could have completely changed it. Now, the first defense played really, really good on Saturday. They didn't even give up a first down. So I think we're doing some good things on that side of the ball. We did a lot better things on the offensive side. We just need to throw it a little bit better, and we've got 2 weeks to continue to hone in on that. And, I'm excited about today because now they're a little bit grumpy. They've been running into each other. We beat them up a little bit, and they have to fight through some adversity. So I'm excited to start practice this week.
I think people who haven't seen it are going to be surprised to say Miles Kendricks got himself back into the mix. Maybe I think people thought transfer from Kansas was going to be the front runner. Talk a little bit about that situation and how close you might be to picking a guy.
Well, I thought the first probably 6 practices, it was CJ and Justin Holiday, the kid from Fresno City College, that kind of were separating themselves. But on Saturday, I thought Miles did some really good things, and I thought the offensive guys responded really well to him. So we're gonna change up the rotation a little bit this week and see which direction that heads. And then we'll probably, I'm hoping to be able to pick a starter after next Saturday's scrimmage. We're going to scrimmage Saturday morning on the 20th. And then we'll go from there and see. But I would ideally like to be able to say, okay, this is the guy's going to lead you guys, so let's get that direction going.
Danny, you mentioned the run game, and you're just seeing some of the concepts in terms of the motion, where the running back is lined up, what the quarterback is doing. But it starts with the offensive line. How impressed were you with their performance against that first-team defense?
I thought the offensive line did a great job. Now we're missing DJ Wingfield, our right tackle, who sprained his patella tendon, the kneecap ligament that holds the kneecap together. He sprained that early in the week. And Adam Gay stepped in and did a really good job. Hopefully we'll get DJ back by the end of this week, and we can shore up that. But I thought those guys did a really good job with assignments, far cry from where they started in the spring, obviously. And when you don't have to think about what you're doing and it's natural and you can communicate, you can play so much more aggressive and physical. And I thought they did a really good job of doing that. I think we've got a couple really, really good running backs. I mean, Nate Jones did a really good job. He only carried the ball about 15 times on Saturday. Christian Washington, a true freshman from Helix High School in San Diego, the same high school that produced Reggie Bush, Marcus Smith, from wide receiver here in the early 2000s. I thought Christian Washington has a chance to be pretty special. He had a really good day on Saturday. Hard to tackle. I mean, he's a 400-meter guy. He's about 5'10", but he's about 205 pounds. So I'm excited about the depth that we have at running back. And then we didn't have Jordan Porter on Saturday. He was out of town for a family emergency, so he'll be back this week. So I think there's some pieces over there with the misdirection and some of those things that'll give us a chance to have some success.
Now, Danny, when you look at this offense, too, under Derek Wareham, we've talked before about just him coming back, but healthy offensive line, what do you want the Lobo offense to look like? What should fans expect if things are working for you offensively this season?
Well, I mean, obviously it starts with we've had success for the last 20 years on defense because we've been on teams that have been able to run the ball. You have to be able to throw it, though, whether you get behind or to keep teams off balance. I mean, if all you're going to do, unless you're so physically dominant that you're just going to run right over them, which there was times that at our previous stop at San Diego State that we were able to do that. And I think we're getting the build of that. But most of the time, you're going to come up against somebody that has either schematic changes that can keep you from running it successfully. You have to be able to throw it. So I think some of the triple option aspect that we have in there makes it really hard to defend. But it's only hard to defend if our quarterback is a threat throwing the ball in the pocket. So that's the thing that we missed the last 2 years, and I think there's been a pretty good upgrade in form of protection to give the quarterbacks an opportunity to do that. So you're going to see obviously a run-heavy offense that I plan on keeping the ball away from the opponent, but we're not going to sit back there and not be able to throw it. So that's the exciting part, and that's why I think Miles and CJ and Justin have their work cut out for them this week to see who's going to be the front runner and step up and lead our football team.
Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez is with us this morning on the opening drive. I think I get asked more, and this is so unusual, right, about this time of year. It's always who's the quarterback, who's going to be this. I get asked more about the offensive line pretty much every day, and I know you probably do too. How are you answering that question? Are you happy where they are at this point, and are they going to be what you need them to be?
I'm significantly impressed with what they've been able to do in the short time that they've been together. Now, we haven't played against anybody other than ourselves, and they're starting to get used to some of the exchanges that we do on defense. Getting out there, and that's why I say this all the time, I think a football team, a good football team, makes their most improvement between week 1 and 2 because you've been going against the same guys for so long, and then you go against a new opponent and you make assignment mistakes. You make some adrenaline mistakes because you get too excited and those things, and then you fix those and correct those things between week 1 and week 2, which week 2 we have Boise. So I'm excited about where they're at, but in the reality of it, we haven't played anybody but ourselves. Yep. And so those guys coming out and knocking somebody else off the ball is going to be a challenge. I mean, Maine is obviously they're a 1AA team, but they're big. They're big up front. So it'll be a good challenge for our guys, and I'm excited to see them compete and do that against somebody else, and then we'll have a better answer to that question.
Danny, what are the things that you look for when you get to this point in camp? You mentioned, all right, the players start to get used to each other, their tendencies, what's coming. So what are the things you look for to see progress in certain areas?
Attitude. I mean, it's got to be – I mean, our mantra around here is effort, attitude, and want to. And can they bring energy every day? How bad – what kind of effort are they going to give? Now that they've been going against each other for about 10 days – they've been running into each other. We've gone a couple of days of live football where they're really tackling and hitting each other and cutting. The running backs are able to cut the linebackers and all those things. What's their attitude going to be today? Are they going to show up and just go through the motions and get through it because you go through fall camp every year and soon enough the game will be here? Or the good teams we've had, they showed up ready to work. Now they get grumpy with each other and occasionally you'll see some pushing and shoving out of practice, and hopefully the seniors will take care of that stuff as it occurs, because they do get grumpy and tired of each other and run to each other, and they've been talking to each other and all those things. So attitude is probably the most important. Are they going to be positive or negative? Are they going to fight and get through it, or are they going to fight to get better? And that's the challenge to our football team this week. And I'm really excited to see what we do this week, because it'll give me a a real tell of the expectation of the season. I mean, I think we're going to be a really competitive football team. How competitive we're going to be will be decided a lot during this week of fall camp.
When do you start looking at Maine? When do you start putting in some stuff for that?
Last May.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched. So their offensively and defensively, the new staff. Jordan Stevens played there, much like myself, was an alumni. Got the job. He was the defensive coordinator at Yale, and did a really good job there. So I mean, we've got multiple tapes to watch from different schools on both sides of the ball. We've broken down our first 4 opponents. We have our game plan already for Maine on both sides of the ball. And then as we move forward, because teams will do different wrinkles, you'll come across different players that they didn't have last year and see some packages that they use for certain guys. And obviously, Boise State plays Oregon State week 1, and it's an important game for our league. So they're going to be doing everything they can to win that game. And so we'll have to adjust some of our game plan against Boise to what Hank and those guys are doing now. And then on defense, what Andy's doing with those guys. So that's always an adjustment, but we've already got what we're going to do against Maine. And we'll start practicing the scout team stuff after next weekend. We'll start that on Tuesday's practice.
Always appreciate the conversation. Have a great week. We will catch up with you next Monday.
Awesome. But real quick before I go, I really thank everybody that came out for the season ticket holder deal on Saturday. That was awesome to see people out there. More importantly, this Thursday night at 7:30 in our soccer stadium, our women's team go against Rutgers, who's the number 6 ranked team in the country. They were in the Final Four last year for the Soccer Cup for the women's side. We've got a great opportunity for our women's soccer team to open against a nationally ranked opponent, put a name for themselves, to get themselves in the conversation. And I think Heather's done a great job. She has a great team. Our entire football team will be out there lined up on the sidelines cheering those girls on. The other sports that are in town will be there. So I would really like the community of Albuquerque to come out and support Coach Ike and the soccer team. And let's get the fall sports started with a knockoff of a nationally ranked soccer team, and then we get the opportunity to have Maine and Boise and UTEP here. And I mean, it's a great opportunity for the fall for Albuquerque and the University of New Mexico. So thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on. Go Lobos.
Thanks, Danny. Danny Gonzalez, kind of confirming what Heather had to say earlier today about that. The conversation with Danny was brought to you by the law offices of Rudy Chavez, personal care for your legal issues. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. Make your legal problems go away. Big week.
Huge.
Big. Well, it sounds like about ready to right? I mean, 2 weeks out now. You're going to find out who your quarterback is. I guess I was surprised, not necessarily as much because watching a little bit, but I think people are surprised Miles Kendrick getting himself back into the competition, right? And
it's just this guy transferred from Kansas. So,
yep.
Okay. Really, he played 17 games, coming off a broken leg. I think they're confident with his ability. The depth, they want C.J. Montez to win this job. But he's got to go out there and perform.
And it's going to be a big week. All right, you can have your say at 505-246-0610. Hey, for quite some time I've been talking to men about NuMale. How thousands of men benefit from NuMale's industry-leading testosterone replacement. How these men feel better, stronger. They've taken care of fatigue and depression, even erectile dysfunction. Do you know NuMale specializes in hair restoration for men and women? Hair restoration without side effects. Let me give you the number, 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale, NuMale.com. Look, NuMale gives you options. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. It uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser, proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, producing natural-looking results in less than a week. And there's no linear scarring. The treatments work for both men and women who want a natural, thicker head of hair without side effects. NuMale's right here in Albuquerque. The number's 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together.
It's in the NFL. Your first weekend is through. We'll get there. You can respond to what Danny Gonzalez had to say. You can respond to what Heather Dyke had to say. Global women's soccer with a big one. Look, we always talk around here, well, we never get the big dogs to come to town. We can't ever, you're never happy with some of the competition. Well, you got the 6th-ranked team in the country coming in to play Lobos on Thursday in soccer. It's kind of a big deal. I hear we're a soccer community. And JJ, Danny talked about at the end of his conversation, he's going to have his football team out there. I don't know. You're more into this world than I, certainly, but the people who complain so voicefully, loudly, and I understand when men's soccer was taken away, you have an opportunity here. You've got a soccer program at UNM. You got a really successful one, a good one with a coach who wants to be here, who's making things happen. It feels like this would be a good opportunity to show that you really do care.
Yes, it would. I really appreciate what Danny does with his players. And
yes.
The moment that really does stand out was spring 21. So they had the fall season pushed back in 2020. They played essentially the one game championship game. They hosted against San Diego State. And the football team was out there, good attendance. They won the game in overtime. Football players going crazy, other student athletes going crazy with the fans. It was such a tremendous atmosphere, and it's everything you want in collegiate athletics. The community, the whole university getting together for a big-time event, and UNM has been able to build off that with another conference championship, and then now 6th-ranked team in the country coming to town.
So you can get out there on Thursday and have fun. All right, there's going to be a lot of Jim Garoppolo talk. Jets, should they get Jim Garoppolo? What are the Brown's going to do if and when we ever get a final hearing on Deshaun Watson. Well, there's a story this morning that came out about an hour ago in CBS, and it talks about Jim Garoppolo and how he ignored the Niners for a long time. So the story talks about this report that surfaced last week that I don't know why this came out, how it came out, that he disappeared, did Garoppolo. Not just in this offseason, but in off seasons plural, including in 2018 after he signed that big 5-year, $137+ million deal. The quote is, once he left that press conference, nobody heard from him for weeks. He didn't return calls, didn't return texts. He basically just vanished. And we were looking at each other going, what just happened? That was the quote from an unnamed 49ers assistant back in 2018. So it goes on. Look, there's a work ethic that's required to be a quarterback and be successful in the NFL. But the work ethic doesn't just mean what do you do on the field. It's how do you represent your team? And this is not a good look for Jim Garoppolo, although I'm sure there's going to be another side. Now, if he would have ghosted them in this last offseason, you just said, yeah, no, I get it, man. They're kind of ghosting him too, right?
They moved on from Jimmy Garoppolo.
Is this a big reason why, do you think? It is the way he handled himself evidently in the offseason. And look, I like my time off, although I don't get much. You guys will probably say, yeah, you do. You're always gone. We all like our time off, right? Everybody likes our time off. But if you're a quarterback in the National Football League, is it different? Even in our time off, dude, we answer our phones, right? You answer your time. I do. I mean, I know I do. You get to a certain place where you got to answer your phone, even when you're sitting on a beach and wherever, right? Do you think this plays into why they've gone the way they've gone and made it such an effort to get another quarterback that basically your quarterback's your leader, your quarterback's your franchise, he's the face of, and he's got to set an example for everybody else, and it sounds like this has been brewing for a while.
I do not think this is a big reason.
Okay.
Could it be just another thing to add on top? Yes. But the reason they're moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo is because he's stuck in fifth gear. And when you need sixth gear to make that pass in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, to make that next step to continue to be an elite team, Garoppolo doesn't have it in him. And so they're hoping this young kid, Trey Lance, can find that next gear, has that higher ceiling, can make the explosive plays to add to what is a really good offense.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see because as this story comes out now, and it's going to get a ton of traction today, I promise you, and everybody's going to be screaming about it. Not that Jim Garoppolo was this hot commodity, not that if he was hot, somebody would have snagged him by now. If Zach Wilson's out for a little while, do you want him there?
No.
Do you want
so this is the reason why is the Jets, regardless of if it's missing the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that job has to immediately go back to Zach Wilson. Like, they have to figure out Zach Wilson the next 2 years, what they have in that quarterback. So I don't want to throw Jimmy G in there. I'm going Joe Flacco, Mike White, get by until Zach Wilson is back. The thing that makes sense is Cleveland.
Cleveland's really the only spot that makes sense. More than the Giants,
it's
more
the
than
whole,
Seattle.
Hey, let's just keep this ship going in the right direction. Good, not great, at the quarterback position, and that's Jimmy G.
Yes. Because I don't see another spot unless you need a backup. You know, I've heard a lot of talk, hey, if Jimmy G gets cut, would the Rams pick him up? Okay. Because he's not going to threaten Matthew Stafford. Yeah, all right, if Jim G gets cut, then the Rams pick him up as a backup or somebody does. New England as a backup. I've heard that a lot too. Right? But the look on Jim, like, I don't even know what Garoppolo is. Do you know anything about him? Other than he's really handsome and he does a Subway commercial?
No.
Do you guys, I mean,
Not
like,
much.
What do you know about Jim Garoppolo? Then you're going to say, Jeff, what do you know about any of these quarterbacks? What do you know about Russell Wilson? But quarterbacks you tend to feel like you know a little bit about, right? You're quarterback, you think you know a little bit of his story. I don't care who your quarterback. If it's Derek Carr, you kind of know his story a little bit. If it's Kirk Cousins, you kind of know his story a little bit. if it's Matthew Stafford, you think you kind of know. I mean, not that we know these guys intimately, we know a lot about them, but you kind of feel you know a little bit about what they're about, right? You know their story, you know where they come from. Well, he came from Eastern Illinois, Jeff. I get that. But you feel like you got a little bit of I kind of know a little bit about. I kind of know if I like him enough. Justin Herbert from Oregon, and there's his family, and he grew like all of these things. What do you know about Jim Garoppolo? Like, I'm not a Niner fan. Furthest thing from it. But I don't feel like I know anything about him. And it's kind of playing right into character, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think when you look at Jim Garoppolo and how it worked out well. Like, they went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They've been competitive. He was injured. What's the best availability? And so you kind of already feel that you're hitting your ceiling with Jimmy Garoppolo. He was injured. It put him in this weird position to be able to use some assets to get a high draft pick. They go after Trey Lance. You tip your cap, say, appreciate you taking us to a Super Bowl, getting us to this level. And now we're swinging for the fences.
Yeah. All right, coming up at 9 o'clock, we'll continue our preview of Mountain West Conference football. Brady Hoke, the football coach at San Diego State, will be our guest at 9 o'clock. Your computer systems are vital. Vital? No, they're vital. Your computer systems are vital to the success of your business. But if they don't work well, productivity grinds to a halt, and there's a lot that can go wrong. Network servers, remote access, hackers are all things to think about. But most business owners don't have time to be computer technicians. May I suggest you call ABQ IT? That's why ABQ IT is a name you have got to know. You just want to know that your system's going to work, right? That's what you want. Will it work? How much is it going to cost? Is it reliable? They're secure. Make sure nobody's crashing into my network. ABQ IT has a business model with your business in mind. ABQ IT will monitor your computers. They'll monitor your network. They'll keep them operating smoothly and provide state-of-the-art cybersecurity to protect your entire operation. Remember that attack on the Bernalillo County system? It paralyzed the system for days. Don't let that happen to your business. And don't be naive thinking that it won't. Best of all this is at one predictable cost. ABQ IT handles it all. No more different providers for your internet, your cybersecurity, and when you need to buy new computers, one company, one affordable cost. Get a free assessment. A free assessment. See what ABQ IT can do for your business. Visit abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com. No more worrying about your computer systems when you do business with ABQ IT.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends. It's in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment.
The Sports Animal.
Well, it's time to start formulating those takes. The takes for the NFL regular season. Week 1 of the preseason in the books. Big thing you look out for is you don't want to see injuries. Well, saw one with Zach Wilson. And that adds a ton of pressure to the second-year quarterback because he's going to be even further behind. Having a knee scope, having surgery, 2 to 4 weeks, could be 5 to 6 weeks. You don't know at this point in time. So this could be the Joe Flacco, Mike White show, but it's a huge hit to the franchise because we're looking at these second-year quarterbacks: Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. Trevor Lawrence. And you want to see that next step forward. You want to see what these franchises have. And all of a sudden with Zach Wilson, it's salt in the wound. It's piling on with the injury. But what are the other takeaways from preseason football? How do you break down preseason games? It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, Amory, with you the rest of the morning. Symbieta back tomorrow. Just had to bounce real quickly. Got some business to handle. Things happen. It's life. But Amory, for you, when you're watching a preseason game, what are you looking for? Because there's a benefit to it for the young guys, for the young quarterbacks. You want to see them get some reps. You want to see them be efficient in certain moments. I don't care about the final score. With preseason football,
neither do I.
I don't care what the final score is.
I like how you mentioned earlier efficiency, and I like seeing young players like I never heard of. You're like, who's number? Even though also on another note, a lot of players changed their number this year.
Yes.
Just if anyone was wondering.
If you remember last year how upset Tom Brady was because linebackers could wear single-digit numbers.
Yeah.
Because it makes it very hard to point out the middle linebacker.
I was like, number 2. And it was Alexander Madison, the running back for the Minnesota Vikings. Anyways, I just like looking. We have a lot. The quarterback position is interesting as usual, but we have a lot of new head coaches this year in the NFL. So I was excited because it makes a big difference. I mean, usually both sides of the ball are going to change. So I like watching the young guys, and half these guys are going to get cut. So I like seeing the passion, and I'm like, oh man, they're so glad they got that tackle because it risks them from getting cut from the roster. But I'm more, and the quarterback obviously is the most judged position, and so I thought it was fun to watch the backup or third string quarterback in these situations.
Rookie quarterbacks had themselves a very good weekend, and this was a draft class we saw one guy go in the first round. It was Kenny Pickett to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then you saw Malik Willis fall to Tennessee. Desmond Ridder goes to Atlanta, and those are the 3 rookies this season that there weren't a lot of expectations for Malik Willis and Desmond Ridder. And you go into second and third round. All right, we'll see. But how did they look? Well, for Malik Willis, he has a fan in Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. Of course, those teams squared off in the preseason. And Lamar Jackson said, quote, on Malik Willis, I saw him in the game. He did that little spin roll to the left and went crazy. I was like, I like him. I like him a lot. He's a great quarterback, and he made some down-the-field throws. He's going to be good in this league. So Lamar Jackson is sold on Malik Willis. I thought he was the best quarterback prospect in this class. I know it was
very
a hype
flashy.
It
was very
make all those
flashy.
throws. He's a plus athlete.
I was like, whoa, confidence,
At the
efficiency, like, because you usually let things go by if they like overthrow it or underthrow it, but you're like, whoa, whew. He's one that stood out most to me was Malik Willis this week.
With the way Tennessee plays, Mike Vrabel, there's that trust in Ryan Tannehill. Hey, he led you to the number 1 seed. He had the worst game at the worst possible time in the playoffs. Ryan Tannehill was bad. Bad against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bad.
But with Malik Willis, you look, is he going to be Trey Lance? Is this Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, where you go into the season, no one's saying Malik Willis should start week 1, but next year it could be Malik Willis's team. Ryan Tannehill could be the next Jimmy Garoppolo in terms of is a veteran quarterback, got his chance, but maybe you're hitting that ceiling. You don't see that extra gear, some of that eliteness needed at times to not just win a playoff game, but win your conference, and that's where it could be trending because those are the things you'll look at. You just don't run 70 yards as a quarterback and just go, oh, it's just preseason. Like you're running past other really fast dudes. That's something to take note of. In the Tennessee Titans quarterback situation this season, it's going to be Ryan Tannehill's job. I think it would be a good thing, a couple packages for Malik Willis, and then next year, we're going to be talking about where's Ryan Tannehill going to play.
Right. I also, it's not about I love when people start like, oh, the backup quarterback or the third string quarterback, watch out, like Malik Willis, like you're saying, can take his job. Isn't it more refreshing to say like, wow, I have a quarterback of the future? This is more about the future, right? Like you should develop a really good young quarterback with potential behind your starting quarterback, whether it's a Ryan Tannehill, a Tom Brady, an Aaron Rodgers. a Joe Burrow, a Josh Allen, even though they're young in their careers, having a good backup quarterback's a great thing.
It is, especially one with some potential upside that does get you a little bit excited. You look at Atlanta, Marcus Mariota. It's the Mitchell Trubisky situation. Like, guy, you feel like, all right, he's going to be okay. He's getting a second chance as a starting quarterback. Of course, Trubisky backed up Josh Allen in Buffalo last year. You saw Mariota be in Vegas as a backup this past season. But Atlanta also has Desmond Ridder. He's not as highly talked about as a quarterback prospect coming out of Cincinnati, even though the Bearcats did make the college football playoff last season. But Ridder came in, he threw for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 59 yards. So another quarterback showing that ability to get out of the pocket, make some plays downfield. The thing with the Atlanta Falcons, Marcus Mariota is either going to lead the league in rushing from the quarterback position or be on IR week 3 because their offensive line is terrible.
Terrible.
That is something that is not good. You don't necessarily want to see your quarterback, even in preseason football, already running for his life, which they were doing in Atlanta. So we might get a chance to see Desmond Ridder, unfortunately for Marcus Mariota, just because that offensive line is so bad for the Falcons. But he flashed some nice stuff. And the one I was most impressed with was Kenny Pickett.
Absolutely.
I didn't like Kenny Pickett. I'm not sitting here going, oh, small hands Kenny Pickett. He can't throw a football. He can. The efficiency, the way he came in, just commanded the offense. Especially, Mason Rudolph, I'm out on him. I get it. I'm out on him. But he came in and he played well.
There's a handful
He's
of them.
I want to be the backup quarterback in Pittsburgh. I want to keep this job. And Mason Rudolph did nothing to make you think otherwise about him being a backup quarterback in this league. But when Kenny Pickett came in and was just putting the football where it needed to go, that is the biggest thing I look for in the first or second week of the preseason with these rookie quarterbacks. Even if they're going up against backup players, guys that might be getting cut, you make the right plays that lead to the explosive play. That's what Kenny Pickett did. 13 of 15, threw a couple touchdown passes. George Pickens, the wide receiver out of Georgia, is going to be someone that's flying up your fantasy draft boards. People are already calling him a steal in the second round. But the winner, to me, of the weekend of the young quarterbacks was Kenny Pickett and the Steelers.
And how promising for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because it's not like because they lost their quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, who was their quarterback for a billion years, then they're not in rebuild mode either. So this is like a bright future for, I think, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the energy in general I heard was just like electric there from my friends who were Steelers fans and who attended the games. It amazes me too how many people attend and travel for preseason football.
Football is football. Whether we're talking about a practice or preseason, and it's a good opportunity. It's a lot cheaper.
Oh, yeah. And it's
game.
Fun. It's fun. Why not?
Denver was packed. Cowboys, Broncos, that stadium was packed. Enjoying it. So your week 1 takeaways, specifically with the young quarterbacks. To me, Kenny Pickett won the day. I thought Malik Willis was fantastic. Good showing from Desmond Ridder. And this was a rookie class that was nowhere near as hyped as the last few that we've seen. We're talking about drafts over the last 5 years that we've seen 5 quarterbacks go in the first round. All the 4 quarterbacks in the first round last year. 1 this season.
It's a weird year.
But here's the thing. Outside of Desmond Ridder going to Atlanta, I think the Falcons won 7 games last year. They'll probably be in that same era this season. Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis went to good football teams. So yeah, you might have dropped a little bit, but it's Lamar Jackson going to the Baltimore Ravens, final pick of the first round. You're going to a really good football team, and that puts you in a good position. And I think we're going to see some interesting things from the quarterbacks this year. And we not have been talking about him, but it could be Kenny Pickett. That is the first one on the field, making some plays in the regular season. 505-246-0610. That is the phone and our text line. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Fall into autumn hiring with it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
AM 610, the sports animal.
It got lost a little bit last week, end of the week. but we have someone that is now officially certified on the Mount Rushmore of most crazy athletes of our time. Just no more spin. The dude is just nuts. Any guesses?
Oh, boy.
How about
I'm ready
Antonio
for-
Brown?
Oh!
Did you see this from Antonio Brown? On the
Did it get
socials?
lost in the week? Yes, it did.
It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610.
I don't know if I should laugh about mental health, but man,
Well, who knows at this point?
I don't know at this
Like,
point. I don't know if it's a gimmick. I don't know what it is, but
It feels like a Saturday Night Live skit. It
The
feels
man
like
needs a
gimmick.
reality TV show.
JJ Buck Gamery with you. So Antonio Brown on his Twitter account, he posted this by him, verified. AB84. This is a statement on his biggest regret. So we just saw Deshaun Watson apologize before making his preseason debut with the Cleveland Browns, dealing with the sexual assault allegations, the 25 civil lawsuits. You know, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm moving forward. Well, Antonio Brown has been all over the place. In the NFL, off the field. Antonio Brown posted this on Twitter, saying, quote, "My biggest regret in my career doesn't involve calling my GM a cracker, or showing up to Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with frozen feet, or throwing rocks at that UPS driver. And it definitely doesn't involve taking my shirt off and doing a victory lap around the Jets stadium mid-game while throwing up deuces. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. Sure, I can watch the game afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks."
God.
Antonio Brown on his biggest regret. It could be one of the greatest statements ever while being one of the most whacked out statements ever. The dude is acknowledging, yep, I threw rocks at a UPS driver, called my general manager a cracker, froze my feet off in a cryo tube, showed up in a hot air balloon. Yeah, I'm cool with that. My biggest regret is I don't get to watch myself play football live. Have an out-of-body experience to watch Antonio Brown
That was a
do
joke
Antonio
when I
Brown
first
things.
read it.
Is that not the greatest yet most whacked-out statement?
Yes, but I'm
you've
also
ever
not
heard?
surprised. Like I don't even know if that's sad. Like I'm not even surprised that he did that.
And most people would be like, "Oh, that's
It's Antonio
funny."
Brown. Yeah.
Antonio Brown 1,000% believes that. He's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with throwing rocks at a UPS driver. Who hasn't done that? I'll call our bosses crackers, right? At the end of the day.
Right.
No. Just Antonio Brown. And I think at this point, he's got no one left to vouch for him.
No.
It was Tom Brady. You had the GOAT in your corner. How do you think Tom Brady feels? Didn't Antonio Brown live at his house for a while?
Yeah. I mean, Tom does anything to win.
He does. Don't
That's
forget
why
that.
he'll go.
Don't forget that.
Anyone that has maybe a problem or issue, and he'll take less money. He'll just do whatever it
pretty.
takes. And
It ain't pretty.
I know.
It ain't all Skittles and rainbows with Tom Brady either. He's
no,
ruthless.
No.
That's why he's like, A, B, you crazy, but you can live in my house as long as you catch those touchdown passes.
Yeah. As long as we win.
That
He's
last
a fixer-upper.
That last sentence, it's gold. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Antonio Brown. Every time I read that, I just want to just burst out laughing. Because you know he believes that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such a wild statement from Antonio Brown. But,
Hey, at least he lives with no regrets.
no regrets. Must be an awesome place to get to. No regrets. Throwing rocks at the UPS driver. You know who has a little regret is J.J. Watt. You see this one?
Oh boy. No.
So J.J. Watt over the weekend woke up and found a snake in his bathroom.
Oh, I'd cry.
He got on the Twitter. He's like, all right, Arizona, this is a new one for me. I've got a baby rattlesnake in my bathroom. What do I do? So all the comments come flooding in. He finds a snake guy, comes in. Guy walks into the bathroom, picks up the snake, bare hand, walks out.
No.
J.J. Watt's like, what?
No.
And then Watt posted a video saying, quote, I call this guy, he comes out here to the house, takes a look at it, and he just picks it up with his bare hands. And he goes, that's not a rattlesnake. That's a long-nosed snake. Completely harmless. And then he left. So if you ever want to feel like a wimp, that's the way to do it. I'm right there with you, JJ Watt. I'm not messing with any snakes in the bathroom. You play it safe.
No, you.
But just that moment when, because I don't know what the difference is in all the snakes are.
If there's a snake in your house, you call animal control and that's it.
But just that feeling that JJ Watt had to experience. He's sitting there like, oh, bleep, there's a baby rattlesnake in my bathroom.
I'd cry.
This is terrifying. I'm from Wisconsin. I know about this stuff. And there's a guy just walks in, picks it up, and walks out.
Yeah, no thanks.
You're like, is this how this works? The guy's like, oh, no, it's okay. Just a long-nosed snake. I'm not taking my chances figuring out if the long-nosed snake venomous, not the markings on the snake, the way the head is. I'm right there with you, JJ. You play it safe.
Same.
You play it safe.
Same.
Playing in a new stadium this season in the San Diego State Aztecs, our head coach Brady Hoke sat down with us at Mountain West Media Days. Really fun conversation. Another one. Yes, I'm saying it again because there's a couple of these guys that coaching wasn't their first gig. Brady Hoke was one of those guys. He was going down the criminal justice path. Got drawn back into high school coaching. Been at Michigan. Now he's back at San Diego State trying to take the Aztecs back to a Mountain West Conference championship. Conversation we had with the Aztecs head coach is coming up next. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Three, 2, third year, second term. Brady Hoke is the head football coach at San Diego State. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jeff.
Coming off a terrific bowl win last year, and I know everything's looking forward, but when you look back at last season, playing in a championship game, ending a couple of seasons, basically not playing a home game, I got to believe you are thrilled. Everything surrounding the new stadium and the enthusiasm around San Diego State.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, I give a lot of credit to great credit to a lot of people who made this thing happen. And the other thing is, the way our kids handled the 2 years up in Carson, I give them a lot of credit, and their families and parents and all those things. But it's going to be great. Snapdragon Stadium is a place that has really brought San Diego and the community together, and it's really something that we look forward to and can't wait.
Everybody, I've watched open a new stadium. I saw it at Colorado State. They, for some reason, think a new stadium is going to just produce a bunch of wins, right? And it's your job to keep this thing going. A new stadium doesn't automatically mean new wins, but it's going to be nice to play at home. How do you meet expectations?
Well, last year we won 12 games, but same thing, we didn't win the championship. And the goal is to, win the championship. So, our guys have had good winter, spring, summer, happy with how they've worked, and we've got a new group of leaders. We lose 9 guys to the NFL. So we've got some holes to fill. Our offensive line is probably the place where I would like to see us get squared away. I mean, they're a talented group, but they got to be a little more mature. So we got some work to go.
A kid from Dayton, Ohio, playing linebacker at Ball State. Did you ever see yourself settling in coaching football at San Diego State?
No, in fact, because I really, when I graduated, I was a federal probation and parole officer. So I was in criminal justice, and that's where I was going to go. But I helped a guy coach high school football in Muncie, Indiana, and loved coaching, loved helping guys grow, and so I became a coach. But it's kind of funny because my brother was at San Diego State in '87 and '88, and so we had come out. I was at Toledo at the time, and my wife Laura and I came out and visited him and thought we had gone to heaven in San Diego, and then I'm the head coach. Yeah, that's right.
A lot of people think that. Brady Hoke is San Diego State's coach. He's with us.
So when you come out of your college career, you mentioned you're a probation officer, just your career. What was it that you said, all right, I want to start chasing this dream,
Right.
where, in the beginning, it's not a career. You're just scraping to get by. So what was the itch that you said I had to scratch?
I think as much as anything, I had a coach who cared about me at Ball State, Chris Allen, and he really cared about me because I like to have too much fun in college, and I had somebody who really cared. He cared, and so we, were able to take that dream of helping kids, because that's what he did, helping me, and coaching was the best way to do it. And you love the game of football, you're competitive, so it all worked out really well.
Look at your coaching journey too. You've had the experience at big places all across the country, but even like a year with the Carolina Panthers, what can you learn at that point? Because you're a veteran coach,
right?
But even in a situation like that, what are you learning?
Well, I think you learn how people do things, how people coach the game of football. Not that there's any difference, but I think until you get into it and do that, you don't know. It was 1 year, and it was a good year in a lot of ways. Julius Peppers, coaching Julius Peppers. You're talking about a guy who unbelievable work ethic, 18 years in the NFL. His last year, and I'm coaching him. 18 years. And he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He came to work every day. Sat right in the front row, meetings every day. Took notes every day. That was Julius.
You tell your players that story?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I tell them that one, and then Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson never lost a gasser in conditioning in 3 years at Michigan. He wouldn't let anybody else beat him. And it wasn't because he was the only fast guy. We had a lot. We had a guy named Mercury Hayes. That means you're fast, right? Right?
You better be.
And Charles never got beat.
That's insane.
Never got beat.
It's all work ethic.
Yeah.
It's all work ethic. Brady Hoke is San Diego State's coach. I can ask you about a couple of New Mexico kids. It feels like not very long ago they committed to San Diego State. It feels like just yesterday they were winning the New Mexico Bowl. Jordan Byrd, Keyshawn Banks, going to be seniors and contributing. Keyshawn's turned into a stud on what is one of the best defenses in the country. Jordan is one of the premier returners in the nation. Just going to ask you about the development and as those two New Mexico kids for our audience go into their senior season.
Yeah. Well, I'll start with Keyshawn because I'm fortunate because I'm a D-line coach. I get to coach him. Even though I'm the head coach, believe me, take my shots at coaching that D-line up every day, and it's been an unbelievable journey to see his growth, and he is one of the guys that I count on as a leader for our football team, and he has done just a super job of taking charge. The other guy is Jordan Byrd. You're talking about a guy who has a skill set that will definitely, not just from the return game, but from lining up in the backfield and doing those things, he's got some real skill set, as you all know, because of his speed, his hands and all that. It really is something that we're excited to get him going again.
San Diego State's coming off a 12-win season. They win a bowl game and they get one of the premier matchups in the bowl season to win that. But as you look forward now, where does San Diego State stand in college athletics? And I know that's J.D. Wicker's job. He's your athletic director. But you can't escape all of the and I don't know if it's noise, if it's chatter, whatever you consider. Your job's to coach football. How much of it, and I've asked a few other people this, how much of that realignment conversation comes into what you do, whether it's on a daily or weekly basis, and in the conversation you have with your student athletes?
Yeah, I can tell you that obviously I'm not involved in realignment. There's some things that have gone on in the last 2 weeks that I don't think anybody saw coming. And, we've got a great conference. The Mountain West is an excellent conference. great teams, good coaches, great guys who move on to the next level, come out of Mountain West schools, and we love it and we're happy where we're at. If something were to happen, I think we'd be naive not to put our foot in the water and test the water.
Playing some big boys this year. Arizona opens up Snapdragon Stadium, and I know that's the big one. You got a Utah team who, last I checked, was playing in the Rose Bowl last year. San Diego State's never shied away from playing Pac-12 or power conference, and I use the air quotes, schools, and beat those schools. I know your boys are looking forward to those.
Yeah, no, there's no question about it. And, we beat both those teams a year ago. I think both will be better than they were a year ago. And simply because I think they've done some recruiting and some things in the portal that have helped, like most of us have. So, but we embrace the opportunity to play anybody. Doesn't matter, anywhere. Doesn't matter.
You mentioned the players last couple of seasons just putting their head down, going to work, playing their games in Carson. What's it going to be like just to see your team? I know your focus is going to be in Arizona, but your players take that field in their.
Oh, it's going to be cool. And I mentioned the celebration of the 100th season. Just think of the Marshall Folks, the Brian Sipes, Fred Dreyer. I mean, guys who are going to be on that field. Haven Moses. I mean, there's so many great players. Kyle Turlick. I mean, there's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be awesome, and probably will mean a little bit more to some of us older guys, to be honest with you.
And who've been around San Diego State football, remember it. Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's going to be fun.
Hey, lastly, Brady, as you look back, and maybe we don't have enough time to tell, how do you describe how challenging it was to play your home games in Carson, to practice in San Diego, get on a bus, you're playing in relatively empty stadiums, and playing games that matter? It wasn't like you were one of the best football teams in America.
Yeah.
You were a top 25 program for the past bunch of years. Putting your guys on a bus, traveling 2 counties away, and playing in a soccer stadium that you were made to feel like tenants.
Sure. I give a lot of people a lot of credit. I mean, our equipment people, just think about their jobs. Sports media people, trainers, they got to bring all that stuff, and I really...
6 times a year.
Yeah. We're 23 games away from home playing in Carson. And I think not having parents early because of the pandemic and all that, and because it's LA County and not San Diego County, there's a difference.
A big difference.
And so that was different. And I felt bad for our players. But the way they handled it, I give them a lot of credit. It just, for us as a program, I think the thrill of being in home and having a home field advantage will be something that everybody's going to really feel good about.
Always enjoy seeing you.
Good
Best
to see
of
you.
luck. Have fun with this season. I know it opened the new stadium, 100 years.
Yeah.
Go out and enjoy it. Good luck
Yep.
to you.
Thanks, buddy.
This is the Sports Animals.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on...
X10, the sports animal.
There's a couple teams I just don't know what to think. You can formulate your opinion about division winners, who's going to be at the bottom of the league, maybe in contention for first round pick. But there's a couple teams I'm just not sure what to think of them, what direction to go in. A couple teams in the NFC, high profile one in the AFC, and I actually saw two of the teams play each other this past weekend up in Denver. The opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. JJ Buck, A. Marie with you, Jeff Simbieta, right back with us tomorrow morning. One of those teams is the Dallas Cowboys. They were 12-5 last year. 10-2 against the NFC. And you can look at the records of the teams they beat. That's all on the table. That's how you figure it out. And okay, maybe the Dallas Cowboys aren't going to be high in your power rankings, but if you win your division, you get to the playoffs. And as much as y'all want to scream about Jerry Jones, he wasn't the reason you mismanaged the end of that game. Dak Prescott sliding, trying to spike the football. Time runs out. But Dallas is a team this year that I don't have a strong feeling about what I think they're going to be. Last year, they were number 1 in yards per game. They were number 1 in points per game. I think that's going to slide a little bit, even with Dak Prescott being better. I think any player, when they have a year under their belt of playing, coming back from injury, I expect them to be even that much better. I think Dallas, offensively, they might try to focus a little bit more, see if they can squeeze out any more juice from Ezekiel Elliott. What kind of weapon is Tony Pollard going to be for them? As outside of CeeDee Lamb, it's going to be a rotation until Michael Gallup gets back from his injury. But their team, I just can't quite figure out how good they could be this season. I get it. The division that they play in gives them chances, just like Philadelphia. It gives them different chances. All they can do is beat up that division and get into the playoffs. Now, when it comes to, like I said, power rankings, okay, maybe you put those teams a little bit lower because of the division they play in, but someone's still going to the playoffs. I am much higher on the Philadelphia Eagles this season than I am the Dallas Cowboys.
100%.
Defensively, they scored 6 touchdowns. That's not going to happen.
No.
So there's a little bit of a regression right there. But that's a team that I don't have a good feel on how good they're going to be. I think that it's going to be between Philadelphia and Dallas. I give the edge to Philadelphia. I'm putting my chips behind Jalen Hurts right now.
Me too.
I think the acquisition of A.J. Brown, and they've had a relationship going back to high school. I guess so. They've good friends, building that chemistry. Devontae Smith is going to, I think, be much better as a number 2 wide receiver opposite A.J. Brown. But it's, you look at a couple teams, and I expect the offense to regress a little bit, even if Dak Prescott is just better overall in terms of his health. Defensively, you're not scoring 6 touchdowns. That was just one of those kind of fluky things. You find the end zone 6 times defensively to shift some games, because they had some dominant offensive games. But that's, I just can't get a good feel on the Dallas Cowboys overall. And another team in the NFC too is the New Orleans Saints.
I think our lists are going to be very much alike, JJ Buck.
It's.
I mean, Andy Dalton is going to be the star quarterback.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, until Jameis Winston Jameis Winston just had surgery, so right now it's the Andy Dalton show.
He just had surgery.
Yeah.
How did I miss this? What happened?
I just want to let you know during the break when I missed that too.
Jameis Winston just had surgery.
I know, something surgery.
That's a big old deal.
I don't know. Okay, but I don't know if it's a serious surgery. Yeah. But it's the Andy Dalton show right now.
Yeah, because it's.
So I don't know if this is even going to change your take even more.
Well, it absolutely will change my take if there is a significant injury and or surgery for Jameis Winston, because he flashed early on, had a good few games before he got hurt last year. And there's a couple teams, the New Orleans Saints and the Denver Broncos are teams the last few years that people will say, hey, that is a very good roster. They just need the quarterback play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with the Saints, their receivers got better. Mm-hmm. Michael Thomas is back. They have the
great
offensive
additions.
weapons.
Had a good defense in general. I thought they had a good defense last year.
But that's my biggest question, and I'll throw the Denver Broncos in there too. With New Orleans and Denver, are those units still as good as they've been the last couple seasons, to where they were the teams that were just a quarterback away? Now, I think for Denver, what helps is Russell Wilson's type of quarterback that he's going to elevate everyone a little bit. So maybe if they don't quite have as good of a roster in years past, Russell Wilson will help pick them up. I know losing Tim Patrick hurts, but Jerry Jeudy has to flash. No reason he shouldn't with Russell Wilson. You got 2 good running backs. I think Denver is still kind of dealing with an average offensive line. Was Garrett Bowles a left tackle flash in the pan, or did he find something consistent now moving forward? Patrick Surtain, he was a hit. You got yourself true number 1 cornerback, Justin Simmons, Bradley Chubb. Now Randy Gregory, that's a risk. You take that signing. Is he going to be available? All the stuff that he's going through on and off the field. But I think that the thing that makes up for it if you're Denver is you got Russell Wilson. So he can elevate everyone there. But definitely with the New Orleans Saints, there's a couple teams I just don't have a good read on. Like I just can't come down and go, boom, this is my feeling on this squad this season. 505-246-0610. That's the phone and text line to get involved. And for the Saints, it's can Jameis Winston be that dude over 17 games? Because he has the ability to sling the ball around. And decision-making was uber aggressive in Tampa Bay that final season. What was it, 30 touchdown passes, but 30 interceptions? Brett Favre 2.0 with Jameis Winston. He's going to put the football there. He's going to make some plays. He's also going to give a ton to the other team. But is he able to make that step forward? Because when you're looking at the NFC South, they're the team that's had the Buccaneers number the last couple of years. They play so good in that matchup. Look at that roster. And if you're looking for someone to pop, feels like it's the Saints with all the weapons they have. But can you trust in Jameis Winston? 505-246-0610. Marty, you're on the opening drive. What's going on, Marty?
Hey, guys. For years I've heard the NFC East being bad, but I actually think the NFC North and NFC South are worse than the NFC East. I never have really felt Aaron Rodgers has ever been pushed in that division. For all the crap the NFC East gets, I mean, they had 2 playoff teams last year. I just feel like the NFC North is probably the worst division in the NFC. And I think it's been for a while. And I could say the same for the NFC South. I don't think the Saints will be a playoff team. I think they'll be a borderline, 500 team. They'll give you splashes of, I think you cannot dismiss, they have no Sean Payton. You cannot dismiss that. That's a huge loss. And then for Dallas, and this is not a defense for them, but it is a fact, it's numbers. They have just owned the teams in their division. Even if they were to score half of what they have beaten these teams by, they could still win by double digits. And I think the roster, they've always looked like chaos in the preseason. They've gone 0-4 the last couple of years in the preseason. And I think it's just the culture, and we all know the story. But I think they have enough talent. And look at Micah Parsons. That guy is a transitional, generational talent. I know we talk a lot about Aaron Donald. You're looking at the next Lawrence Taylor here. You're looking at a guy that can. It takes one guy to really change the fortunes of a team. I truly believe that, and I think that's where you're looking with Dallas. I think we get too blinded with the hate with the Cowboys, and we always look at the negative. But every team has issues. Every team has and I know we talk about this. And I like the Broncos, but Russell Wilson hasn't been the same Russell Wilson over the last 3 years. He's not going to just come in. They're going to go 17-0. If you're a Bronco fan, you're thinking that. I think you're a little high. I think there's going to be some adjustment. They have a new coach, new system. That line, Russell Wilson has struggled when the line is not good. Just look at Seattle. So I'm just kind of bringing it to earth. It's football. We get all, it's the time of year. We have, I'm not saying Dallas is a Super Bowl team, but I think it's gotten easier for them in the NFC as a whole. I think the NFC is easier than it's been throughout Dak's career. So keep an eye on that. Just my thoughts.
All right, Marty, appreciate the call. I'm with him on the division thing. It's easy to say, they're playing a bad division, but it doesn't matter. That matters if we're talking about power rankings. Like, what matters is you win your division to get to the playoffs. That's how you have your opportunity. Now, they got to start winning those games because the Cowboys since 97, 3-10 in the postseason.
Also, I don't think that Russell Wilson, I don't think they're going to go 17-0. I don't think any team is going to go undefeated. But it does make a huge difference having a veteran Super Bowl quarterback on your team.
I think that's an easy bet. The Broncos are not going 17-0.
I think it's an easy bet. Totally.
As we kind of sit here, go back and forth until we finalize our preseason picks and our thoughts on the season, I've had the Broncos 4th in that division.
That's the toughest division
I go back
in
and
football.
forth between the Raiders and Broncos. There's the 3rd and 4th place teams. I think for Denver, they're going to see a tremendous booth with Russell Wilson at quarterback.
If we're talking about divisions, I guess that's a whole different story versus
they still need to run the football.
The history, who your quarterback is.
But here's the thing with Russell Wilson. Like, every quarterback wants a good running game. Whether they're talking Russell Wilson, Tom Brady,
absolutely.
The thing that's different is even if you're down on Russell Wilson the last few years, he's a quarterback in the fourth quarter. You're like, oh, we're down 10 points.
2-minute drill.
2-minute drill. We need a touchdown here. You're confident he's going to make the throws. You're not sitting there going, man, everything just has to stack up perfectly and we need to do this. No, it's all right. You need to go win this game. He's one of those quarterbacks that you believe in. And that's the whole point of kind of elevating that entire roster for the Broncos in that division. There's a couple teams. And you mentioned the Cowboys. Yeah, I still think that it's the Cowboys-Eagles are going to be playing to win that division.
Yes.
And Micah Parsons, I'm on that train of thought of, all right, next 5 years, Michael Parsons could become the face of defense in the NFL, much like Aaron Donald is right now. Is when you're looking at the star pass rushers, star playmakers, Micah Parsons is on that path, and he has changed everything for that defense. But to me, ultimately, it would come down to a team like New Orleans that I have the biggest question marks for, because I don't know if I'm betting on Jameis Winston to be that good over 17 games, even with the talent they have on that roster. And is there anyone else? 505-246-0610. You have the feeling on most teams who you think is going to be good, who you think is going to be bad. But there's a couple teams right there in the middle. Maybe you just don't quite have that feel on them. Who are they? Does it come down to quarterback play? Total roster. It's the beauty of the NFL preseason. You don't look at the final scores. It doesn't matter. You start looking at moments. Dallas Cowboys, they didn't play a lot of their starters. They did have some starters in the offensive line. 17 penalties. The team that led the NFL in penalties last season. Those are some of the key takeaways in the preseason that you want to see get cleaned up. And catch the show on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26, also streaming online. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/TheOD in the AM. Also find us on the social media, _JJBuck at Part-Time Bro, to get involved with the show. The Houston Astros had a very emotional day yesterday. Alex Bregman hit a home run, but it was so much more than just a homer. We'll tell you about that story. And a star player letting his team down. So much for that stacked lineup in San Diego. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working.
The Houston Astros stepped up yesterday for the community of Uvalde. It was Uvalde Strong Day at the Houston Astros game. We all know the devastating school shooting that took place in that community, the lives that were lost. And the Astros just trying to help out a little bit, put a smile on some of the faces of the kids, the parents, and bring them out to the ballpark in Houston. They set up some buses, so they bussed everyone in. They got to meet with the team pregame, ask some questions. And now a little girl was wearing a Team Altuve shirt pregame and said, "Hey, Jose Altuve, can you hit a home run for me?" Well, Altuve didn't hit the homer, but Alex Bregman did. Bregman goes yard in the Astros' 6-3 victory over the Oakland Athletics on Sunday. And as he got back to the dugout, manager Dusty Baker says, "Hey, you hit one for Uvalde." It was a very emotional day, emotional moment. Saw one of the older sisters of one of the kids that was killed throughout the first pitch. And just, man, it's just gut-wrenching. It's one of those things that even when talking about this story, you start thinking through it and starts tearing you up inside. But good on the Houston Astros for stepping up and just bringing that community out there, because nothing is going to change that pain that those parents, those families, those friends are feeling. But to show that you're not going to forget them, that you're going to be there for them. That was an exceptional day for the Houston Astros, and Bregman going yard, and he talked about it after the game, saying, "Yeah, it was a very emotional day. He was happy to do it, and yes, they got a victory. They won a baseball game, but all those players, you talked about what it meant for them just to be there, to interact with the Uvalde community." So 2 thumbs up. Great job to the Houston Astros there. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. And something that comes close to taking away the headlines from the NFL. And a great shot there on ProView Networks if you saw it from Adrian, a photo from pregame Uvalde out there with Houston Astros. That's awesome stuff. Was Fernando Tatis Jr. You remember the San Diego Padres trading for Juan Soto?
Ooh, the big
Dream
three.
Team,
The
Machado,
big three.
Soto, Tatis. He's out there rehabbing in Double-A.
Boy.
Bam!
Bam.
80-game suspension. Performance-enhancing drugs in the system of Fernando Tatis Jr. Devastating.
Come on, man.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? It's your job.
Padres manager Bob Melvin says Fernando Tatis is remorseful about his suspension. I would picture Mike Clevenger over the weekend, just disappointed, saying, quote, "It's about more than just him right now," end quote. That locker room felt that. That one hurt. The Padres. We're talking about a dude who hit 42 home runs last year. Should be leading off. And then you got Tatis, Machado, Soto. That was the offense that was supposed to attack the postseason. That was going to try to run down the Dodgers. Be a thorn in the side of the New York Mets at some point in time. And Mike Clevenger, his disappointment, him calling out Fernando Tatis, that's all you can do in this situation, man. Like, it's devastating to the Padres. They're still 65-52 overall, but they're not out of the woods.
No.
They're in the second wild card position.
I can't believe this.
They're only a half game ahead of the Phillies, 1.5 games ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers. Like, they're not out of the woods yet. It's not just a shoo-in. The Padres are going to be in the playoffs. And then now you're dealing with this situation, Fernando Tatis. That was shocking when I saw that one come down the other night.
Supposedly he took it to treat ringworm.
Ringworm.
That's what...
How are you even getting ringworm these days? Is that, like, not cooking your meat fully enough?
I don't know much about, like, substances and what's in medication, but yeah, that's why he failed the PED test, because it turns out he was taking a medication to treat ringworm that contained whatever form of PED.
Of course, it's always... That's what it always... How do your team... If you have ringworm...
I don't even know. I'm no doctor, but...
These are the ones that always blow my mind, because how... All right.
Wouldn't you wouldn't you say in the medication, be like, make sure there's no PEDs
Isn't that
in
the
it?
job of the team doctors?
Yeah, be like, okay. Or
hey, what medication are you taking? Oh, this medication has this in it. You can't take it. Or is there something you say, hey, Major League Baseball, our dude has ringworm, and he has to take this for it right now.
I think it's kind of a big
Submit
deal.
the paperwork. Here you go.
Just like anything you put in your body as an athlete, I think you would want to know. Be like, all right.
This ain't just me going to GNC,
problem.
buying some protein powder, and drinking a shake after my workout, having no idea what's in it.
Did DeAndre Hopkins have ringworm as well? That's like the new thing. Athletes trying to get ringworm now.
Oh, I wasn't
Athletes are out
covering
there
up
trying to
anything.
get
I had a
ringworm.
ringworm. What?
Come on, man. That's just a sad.
And he's taking the heat, rightfully so, from his teammates. Like, what are you doing at this point in time? This team, the excitement, the next big three in baseball. Have you ever seen a lineup like this? Are you even going to make the playoffs, San Diego? I know I broke my ankles jumping off the Padres bandwagon last year. Hook, line, and sinker, I was in. Whole bunch of nothing.
I know. And now this. Especially after that huge deal, the huge trade, the whole shebang.
And when asked if Fernando Tatis was going to speak to his teammates, Bob Melvin replied, quote, I don't know where and when that would potentially happen, so I'm not sure at this point. I don't think anyone wants to talk to you, Fernando. They are upset. They are bitter.
And they should be.
Led the National League 42 home runs last season. You were set up. They're still a competitive baseball team. They need to get their pitching in check if they want to win this year in the playoffs. But that was your star. That's the dude that you paid before he did anything great because you knew this guy was something else. And he proved it last season. And then pop, 80 games. Rest of this year, some of next year, Fernando Tatis, he gone. It's a Dodgers division anyway. But you're looking at the wild card going, man, can they do something? Now you got to get to the playoffs. 505-246-0610 phone and text line. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Thing with suspensions, and when players say they were taking something for something else, wouldn't you expect leagues, unions, to have a protocol for that? Wouldn't you want to submit, hey, this is medication I'm taking because I have this? Because Mr. Texter said, have you ever had ringworm? If you had, you wouldn't be teasing that poor guy. Here's the thing. We don't know if he had ringworm for sure.
Wasn't teasing also.
And if he did, why would he be suspended? Well, because that substance was in his system. But if it was in a medication to treat something specific, wouldn't you have that locked down? Wouldn't you notify your team doctor, even if you got it from your physician? If it's not a Padre physician. Isn't a part of being a professional athlete notifying your team of what's going on? Especially when you're working your way back from injury. Yeah, ringworm sounds terrible. I don't want to have ringworm. But if he had it,
teasing that poor guy.
If he had it, how do these leagues not have something in place
To allow.
where they know, oh, this dude has ringworm? Here's the test or whatever you need.
People use
He's
steroids for
taking
different medical issues all the time.
That's my thing with it. Not, oh my gosh, haha, you have ringworm. No, that sounds terrible. I don't want ringworm. No one wants that. It's if that is true, if that is the case with these athletes, why are they suspended 80 games? Because then that feels like that's a problem, even with the drug testing, is if there's only certain medications that you can take for certain things. Why would he be suspended 80 games if he did have ringworm? That's my major question with it. Because his teammates aren't saying, oh man, Fernando had ringworm. This is terrible. No, they're like, we are disappointed in this dude. Like, why did this happen right now? That's a question you have to ask yourself. Not that ringworm would suck. Of course it would. It's if that's the case, why are these dudes getting suspended? Right? Does that make sense to everyone? What we're trying to talk about is if you are taking a specific medication, would you not would that reported by the team doctors, pass it along, be like, hey, this is what the dude has to take, says ringworm right now. Or is there other stuff you can take that doesn't have that stuff in it? I'm not a medical professional, but all I know is if these dudes were getting popped like this, whether it's a New Hopkins situation, he's like, I didn't know what was in it. Or this case, doesn't sound like his Padre teammates are believing in that ringworm right now. So what's the deal? That's what we're asking.
That's all we're asking. Not making fun of.
Because if that was the case, report it. Figure it out. Seems pretty simple. You got a few things you have to be aware about as a professional athlete, and that is one of them. The stuff you're putting in, you're going to get tested. What's going to pop you? It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal, JJ Buck, A. Marie, with this and be back tomorrow. And I ran across this story, NFL.com, which I thought it was really interesting with what we were talking about today. One of their analysts, former NFL scout, Bucky Brooks, shared who he believes are the most talented rosters.
So excited.
In the NFL. Number 2 was the New Orleans Saints. And they're that team I'm sitting there going, all right, how good are you going to be? Because we believe, you, me, everyone else, they have a stacked roster. And they do. You know who their number 3 wide receiver is this year?
Who?
Jarvis Landry.
Woo!
Pretty good.
Michael
Chris
Thomas
Olave,
is back.
first round
Chris
pick,
Olave.
Michael Thomas. Alvin Kamara
will be back.
Will be
at
back
some
week
point.
7. Because you get 6-game suspension for doing bad things in the NFL.
I just can't believe I forgot that Andy Dalton's on the Saints now.
That could be a fun one. We'll rank backup quarterbacks later this week. There we go.
It's like, it's not even Andy Dalton and certain quarterbacks are at a Jacoby Brissett. Like these certain quarterbacks have had weird journeys, but
well, Andy Dalton had
no, he had Cincinnati. Yes,
solid starter career,
but he's still like doing all right.
Andy Dalton would be very high on the list.
Absolutely.
Of guys, I'm like, we need him for 3 weeks. I'm feeling okay.
And they got Taysom Hill at tight end.
Now full-time tight end, and he was bitter about it.
Part-time tight end.
He's part-time. Is he still pushing? Because it sounded like they moved him full-time tight end this year. We're done with Taysom Hill taking the snaps. Unless it's in the red zone, he's going to steal the touchdowns from Jameis Winston or Alvin Kamara and piss you off.
I think it's cool that you can play all those positions. To be honest with you. So
when you have Alvin Kamara, they get in the red zone. They're like, Taysom Hill rushing touchdown. You're like, dang it.
Dang it. Dang fantasy. It's coming for you.
And the Chargers are either going to best team in the NFL or end up being the most overrated team. Because he was Chargers were number 1 on his list. As the most talented roster in the NFL this season. Are they under the most pressure of any team going into the season? It's the Chargers.
Yes.
Because everyone already loves Justin Herbert. Like, your jacket's waiting for you when you get to Canton.
I think they could win that division.
I have them winning the AFC West.
Me too. I got yelled at this weekend for saying that.
Well, yell right back.
And that's not taken away from the 3 great teams that are in that division.
And we've said it before. I think Kansas City, even if they finish in second, you could see Kansas City, much like the Chargers, maybe not have gaudy records, but be better football teams because of the competition they have in that division. The games that you're going to play. Now, for the Chargers, they have to be good early. The back half of their schedule is tough. You want to talk about being playoff tested? The final 9 games of the Chargers season are against teams sitting here right now, as we're doing all our takes, projections, are teams we believe are going to be fighting for playoff spots. So that's the last 9 games of the Chargers season. So they got to get out the gate quickly. They got 2 division games. Vegas, Kansas City, that's going to be tough. But then Jacksonville, Houston, Cleveland, Denver, Seattle. Winnable games in that stretch. Sports, it's all about pressure. It's all about what have you done for me
I thought it was all
lately?
about practice.
Practice? But the Chargers are under the most pressure because
Absolutely.
people like me are all in.
I'm all
Putting
in.
my chips behind Justin Herbert. Like, they attacked their weaknesses in the offseason. Khalil Mack, win. Opposite Joey Bosa. J.C. Jackson, win. Derwin James, he stays healthy. They have playmakers on every single level. Yeah, I'll still say Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback,
Yes.
but the best team should be the LA Chargers.
Oh, I like this, JJ.
And Brandon Staley. All eyes are on you now after you had that miscalled timeout, which let the Raiders kick a field goal and go to the playoffs. And there are a lot of teams, if you look at the NFL last year, 8-9, 9-8, they're on the cusp. But the team with the highest ceiling of any of those squads is the Chargers. There's teams I like to be playoff teams this year. Like the Minnesota Vikings. I'm in on the Minnesota Vikings. Even Kevin O'Connell, first-year head coach.
Same.
The most pressure.
We haven't been too far off.
It is
The Minnesota
the
Vikings.
LA Chargers. I want to thank UNM women's soccer head coach Heather Dyke for joining us. Danny Gonzalez, global head football coach, as well as they wrapped up their scrimmage on Saturday. We're talking about practice, man. Season starts for global football September 3rd. UNM women's soccer home game Thursday night. Number 6 Rutgers in town to open up the regular season. Symbiota back tomorrow. Marie, thank you.
Thank you.
Great stuff, as always, Adrian, on ProView Networks. Much appreciated. We got the Jim Rome Show coming up next. Colin Cowherd at 1. Then the boys, Fred and Van, join you. 2 men on at 4 o'clock. Everybody, Meta World, peace and love. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.